Hello. Alright, we are going to continue from where we stopped in the last class. We started skinning these already, and we want to continue from there. So I'll just move my player around to see how far we've gone. So I'm going to save again quickly, and yes. Oh, alright, yeah. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to continue from where we stopped. So let me try and see if I think I'm done with it. I think it's somewhere around here. I'm going to continue from here. I'm going to select those. In fact, I'm going to set the controllers to hidden. They'll click to go back to, or to get you guys to the paint skin weight 2. So I think somewhere around the hip and the heel. So I'm going to lock this, drop straight to the hip, and so it's here that I'm going to start. Okay, just painting the hip. Alright. Where is this spline is supposed to also have some controls, some level of controls around here, including the hip and you see these guys. I want to unlock them. I try to do them guys because they are what you're doing actually. So what I'm going to do is I have them unlocked. I'm going to reduce my brush size while in the paint mode. I'm just going to be painting slightly. I can decide to I'm just smoothing it. I can decide to replace, set this to replace, and probably drag this down and then try and paint with that level of value. Same thing as this. I need this to actually come out, so I might want I want to send some value here too. So painting around here. So I'm sending some values down there, or to the spine there. Okay, now should be somewhere around here. So let me be sure that is working. So that should work much more properly. Excuse me. So alright, so I'm going to switch to the select mode. I enjoy working around vertices as well. So I might select these 3 vertices and probably hammer them, let's see, and then automatically send their weights to the appropriate position where they are supposed to go to, where they're supposed to be. I'm going to do hammer again. Okay, probably I might have to reduce my selection and do the hammering. Select those 3 vertices. Hammering. What about this ones here? Select 4 vertices there, probably this inclusive. Let me select from here to this point, and I am going to just hammer that. Alright, so these have been those vertices have been hammered. I'm going to do the same thing to this set of vertices here. Just going to hammer them as well. And try and see if they jump straight back to the rightful position. just isolated to be sure that I've selected the intended vertices and then not the wrong one. Okay, this is not looking bad, except that having it this way seems good. Control Z, having it this way seems good. And then probably I might just have few vertices selected and hammer instead of having them all selected at the time. So what I did was I did Control Z, and then I had to now select just those two vertices and then just click on hammer. Then I am going to jump into this lower part of the t-shirts. Selected those, I'm going to hammer those, except for this one right here. Control Z to go back in time. I just leave them the way they are right now, except for the back. Let's play around the back. Let's grab those. Hammer them and see. Okay, I think this is good. What about this? So the spot here. You said? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that's the thing. That's the thing. As you're trying to smoothen one part, expect another side to have an issue. That is normal. It's part of it. See. But to some extent it is correct. You see I'm also having some issues around here. It's part of it. You just have to settle with one that you think seems good enough. So the camera thing is, or might help you cover up the other side of it, so the parts in which you don't really want to reveal. Do you understand this? Or probably you can also use a material to hide some areas that you think are not supposed are not meant to be seen. So this is the thing. This is not bad, so that's I will lock this, and for the roots I might push this out, drop this, I might probably push it out, select the roots, pull this out. I might probably do the same thing to these two, just hammer them and try as much as I can to run themselves out with vertices around them. What about pushing this down? I'm going to select all of this. The leg is raised. Can't I drag this? Okay. Put in some weight right here. So when this goes up, at least seeing some kind of food, something like this is what I'm looking at. Okay, so let's see what it looks like when it sits down. When she sits, okay, that's what it looks like. When the leg is raised, I think I've been able to adjust that, except that's okay. I like the way this place also moves down. Okay. Okay. Right. This is not bad at all. This is not bad, except that I might have to give a bit of justice to these three practices here. Okay. Or probably let's see what we can do by that's what it looks like. it? The skin width, few minutes. Okay, I think that is coming from here. Or is it the roots? Can't these be asked to sit? Because I want the leg to be planted in the ground. Okay. Okay. Push down. I'm just trying to check the animation again. There seems to be like some kind of movement in which I do not expect happening somewhere around here. It looks raised like this, and the back of the leg seems to now be floating in air. So that is what I'm trying to correct. So this is what I want it to look like. This is what I want it to look like. Then I think that one is fixed. Then the next one is probably the sideways. The sideways. Mind you, I've not mirrored this, so you expect something like that to happen. And this is good. This side is good. The only thing I think I need now is to probably mirror this. Let me select. Then I'm going to mirror this. Then check what it looks like now when it bends to the side. Okay, I think that's, it seems to be like a line that I was seeing earlier. It seems to be more obvious. It's kind of obvious now, but you're still seeing it now, but it might be kind of difficult for people to, other people to see. You get, there seems to be like a line. Okay, fine, I think that has been corrected. When it bends forward, it's bending from, see the, okay, now it's bending from the hip, not, yeah, it's bending from the hip, which could be controlled using the, what's it called, the roots. And at the same time you could also use this FK roots. So the bending you're seeing now is coming from the FK roots. That's why when this is selected, you see that the rotation Z is actually what takes this animation. So this is good, this is not bad. So I'm going to move my range slightly to somewhere around here. Or probably, let me check once more again. I'm going to hide this for now. Let me just be sure. Have I set the wrists? Did I work on the wrist? Yes, I did. Okay, sitting. Raising of the leg. You see that there seems to be like the stomach moving up. That was last week. That was where we stopped last week. The stomach seems to be kind of moving up way too much when she's trying to raise her thigh up. You understand? That has been adjusted now. We are only seeing like a fold somewhere around here. Do you get? And I also delayed the folding of the clothes into the skin. I also delayed that. I tried to move some vertices around so that, and the bending here too. Of course, it looks good, not bad. To some extent, the cloth is not also going through the mesh, the skin mesh. So it seems good. Seems good. Probably I might just switch to this, select mode, and I'm going to grab these few vertices. Probably we should hammer this, and then so try and put them in their rightful space. Okay, this is not bad. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, bend it sideways, bend it forward using the FK controller. Right, so I'm going to slide this to like 100 frame where it stops here. Excuse me, I think we're still going to like 300 frames. I think the bend now is coming from probably this. Okay, that's still coming from here. That's still coming from the FK roots. That's still coming from the FK roots. we're going to jump straight to, I think we're there already, except that just realizing now that there seems not to be good connection between the root and the heap and some of these other root right here. Yes, this seems not to have a lot of influence around the trousers, so that's what I'll probably try and look into. Let me hide these controllers and okay, start painting now. You see that we haven't it been pushed in. Okay, we haven't those been pushed in, so we might. So when we are in tight corners like this, when I find myself in tight corners like this, what I do is sometimes I use the vertices instead. So I'm going to switch to select mode. Try and see if I can grab. Let's get into the wireframe mode. So let's select this. Said? Yes, really far. Really far. Just have to look for ways. Sure that's okay, probably this one, probably this one. So let's go back to the shaded mode. See that? See those? Control 1, Control 1. Okay. So I'm just going to hammer those. Control 1, ouch. Bring them back out. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Control 1, Control 1. I might have to turn off these. I'm trying to turn off the controller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this, and although I might decide to leave that part of trousers coming out, I can decide to leave them. Like I said, they can be hidden. They can be set hidden via the material or using the material. You might set them to not renderable, and they shouldn't be visible, that they should not be visible to rendering. I don't know whether that makes sense. So that's you're going to be seeing. So that's with this. Let's hammer those. Push Control Z. So some of these now select those to this part here. This. I'm going to probably lock these, and then for the heap and the roots is what or where this is concerned, probably with the heap program. So we are going up now. We are moving up. We are moving up. I don't like how this painting looks like here. Hmm? That what? Okay. I didn't hear that. The stomach. He now has a pot belly. Okay. She now has a pot belly. Okay, I think this is not bad actually. This side is not bad. Now where we are going is this. It's that we are leaving the roots. We are going to be leaving the roots. Let me exit this vertex level. And where we are going now does not also concern to some extent this. It has to do with the roots and then the spines. It's just here. It's just this particular area now. Okay. So what I'm going to do next is probably I might just decide to leave this place the way it looks. I might decide to leave here the way it is. So I'm going to be moving down. Let me lock this because one has to be very careful. This should be between here and here. So now I don't even think I have much to do with. I don't think I even have much to do with. So I think I'm going to leave this place. So let me just move on. Let me see what it looks like. Okay, it's not bad. It looks weird here. So what I'm going to do is I think I might just have to select this 4 vertices here, or probably 5 of them, 6. How am I those? Okay. Yes, of course, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely right. Just expect some kind of funny movement around, like fools. We'll select this to this part here. I think I have to quickly check. Okay, I think it should just be between these 2 guys, and then probably, let's see, movements will definitely not happen. So I have that still selected. Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do is I have a few of these to deselect, and then go to stretch this out. There are some joints here that also has influence around here. And probably this one here also has influence, which is not supposed to be. And to some extent, the what's it called, the roots also has influence, so that can also be taken out. What about the hip? Does it? It has. Can you imagine? So the influence should also be between these 2 guys here. Should also be between them, these 2. Are we getting something from here? Yeah, we are also getting something from there. And I think it should also spread to. Let me hammer this. Hammer this. What about this? Okay. I am also seeing some things right here, which look really good. I think I have to lock all of those. Switch back here. Let me get to the hip. Is not supposed to have some influence around there. Switch back here. I think I saw something here. Let's that. Switch back here. Okay, that speaks. This side is not that bad. might just have to let that side fly the way it is. I can open up this. Okay, I like the way the turnout is, what the turnout is looking like, except that here, let me share the influence with pink. I might have to select few of these. Okay. Let's bend it. Okay, just want a roundness. I want to achieve some form of roundness here. Though it's not meant to be perfect. You see, I think we're getting there. I think we are getting there. This fly for now. I'm just going to leave it the way it looks like right now. So we're going to move on to the upper part of the body. We are continuing to move the chest. Wow, the chest is even spreading to the hair. Yeah. We remove yours. The chest should not go past this area, but there's a way it's usually so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the chest and the neck, the chest and the neck. So whatever leaves this place now, whatever leaves here should be going to the neck. Let me be sure. I'm just trying to check through to be sure that it's only the neck and the chest. That is where we have I'm going to set this to 0 because I'm using the paint mode. I have the chest selected. You can start painting. I think I just lost a selection there. I'm going to select these again, double click to get back here, move my cursor around. That should be working now. So if I paint, but the problem with painting like this is that you might end up, because I'm using a soft brush, I can decide to use a solid brush, so it paints like, you see that the edge are softer here, but using a solid brush will not allow that. So, and the same thing is what you get when you are actually taking out a particular influence, or you're taking out influence from a particular area of the mesh. Do you understand this? But what I usually do to remove influence is that I switch to select mode. You get, then I can double click right on this. When after double clicking on all the vertices, then I am going to float them with, set this to 0. I would select the chest, then I'm going to float that with the value set to extreme 0. Okay. So now if I switch back to paint, you see that saving the stress of having to be painting here and there. Another thing again is that it removes all the influence, no matter how small it is, it removes it directly from there. So when it bends now, the hair is not coming to the back. You see that it stays with the head. So that's the thing. Even the chest is not that bad. It's not that bad, except that it should not have a lot of influence on the neck. It shouldn't have a lot of influence on the neck. So for the neck now, the neck as well should not have influence. Shouldn't have influence on the, what's it called, on the hair. So I've selected it. I'm going to float it as well. So now all of that has gone to the hair. The hair should have full control. If I slide this up and I float that, so the hair should have full control of the hair. So that's the thing. So I'm going to jump back to the neck, and I'm also going to open up the chest. So now that I have this neck, I'm going to do a lot of job here, because I have to like select all the neck area. I'll jump right here. For the neck should be somewhere from here, probably. Let me start from there. That's where I'm starting from. I'll do control 1 to reveal some other area of it. In fact, I'm just going to select everything. Control 1, and okay, it stretches to this area of the collar. Control 1 again, and then I'm going to select Control 1, some part right here. Okay. So somewhere around here. From here to here. Then probably here. So I'm going to select the what's it called, the neck. I'm going to drag this up. I'll say okay to that. I'll select the head, making sure that nothing is coming from there. I'll set these all to 0. This one and this one, they are driven down to 0. I only want the neck to have the strongest influence there. So where else do we have influence here? Is it coming from the chest? Nothing is coming from the chest anymore. I think I still have it hidden somewhere. We still have it hidden somewhere. Okay. Scapula. Let's set this to 0 for now. We'll jump back to the neck. I think we still have few somewhere. I think probably scapula. That one. We'll select the neck. Now I think everything is set to 1. So we have all these set to 1. Okay, so the neck, when it bends the neck, okay, this is what we are looking for. This is what I'm looking for. You see this part now, this top here, these vertices are the top here. They are going to be sharing their influence with the head. So I'm going to select from here, double click. It shouldn't go that way. Let me raise its head out. Default, if I grab this now up to double click right here. Double click to this point. Okay. Alright, so here to this. This part here. Okay. There's the neck, now the chest, the head should get influence. Okay. Same thing to probably here. from somewhere around here to here. Okay. Let's select the head. We are going to switch back to paint mode. Set this to from that. Okay. So I'm going to do something to the chest and the neck. Some vertices that are closer to the chest are going to get, or they are going to be influenced by the chests. So each of them have to some extent, even the clavicle too, the scapula rather, even the scapula. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump back here, then I'm going to smoothen those areas. So now when the neck bends, so when it bends, you should get that. You see that? You might still need more vertices to be selected. Click, and then jump back to paint mode. Then flood. Go to flood those. Flooding, I'm doing that flooding between the scapula. For it to go back and check now, see that scapula has some influence there, and the neck. So that's what I'm doing so far. I think I might have to turn this, turn off the chest, leaving just the neck and the head. Now I just saw some vertices here not bending correctly, although the neck might cover them. Control 1 to hide those and reveal the parts. Control 1, Control 1. I'm going to add this Control 1 to this place. Okay, I think I like how it bends actually. I just have to like soften that slightly. Soften it slightly. Sorry, I have to do that in the probably I have to add these vertices here, so that's Control 1 and Control 1. Alright, let's see, I have to be very careful while doing this. Let me see where this alright, let's switch back here from this port here to right here. In fact, everything around the head, Control 1. I'm now going to deselect some part here using these lasso tool. Let me go to the right view, or the F key to frame that to my view. I'm going to deselect some of these vertices for the neck, and do some drawing around here. So this part, doing this. Let's go through. We'll be sure that we made the right selection. Then I'm going to double click right here, Control 1. Then I'm going to assign all of those to the head. I'll select the head, flood it. Let me see what is coming from the chest, nothing. From the neck, nothing. From this, that's to all go to the head. Sorry. So the head still have some let me be sure. Okay, a lot's coming from the neck part 1. Okay, let's go there. Okay, everything set to the head completely now. This is what the neck looks like here. This is what the neck looks like when it bends. fully bent. This is what we have. Okay. 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 Okay, so we have to soften things now and make them look good. Let's jump here. See? So what we're going to do is we're going to select some parts here. Some parts, sorry. I lost that selection. Select this. Right click. Sorry. I have to select first. Exit the component level. Right click on the paint weights. Paint skin weights rather. Then I am going to look for the head. Switch my mode to select, then switch to the component level. Then I'm going to grab some of this. From here to this spot right here. You can jump straight into the outliner and look for some of these organs here, like set them to hidden, Control H. Okay, so that you don't run into them unnecessarily. And this is it. Okay, Control 1, Control 1, Control 1, Control 1. This is the way I'm using selecting some of the vertices that are not seen or that are hidden. Okay, so now this is what I have. This. Then Control 1 to reveal. I'm going to float this between the neck and the head. I hope there is no other joints that is not locked. Okay, I'm going to switch to paint mode so I can see what I'm floating. This is what it should look like. See that? I left some vertices unselected, so I'm going to grab them. This. I think that can also spread to this point here to some extent, including this place and this part as well. Okay, so we'll switch back to paint mode and I'll flood. See what the neck looks like now. You see that? Okay. Except for this part, I'm going to leave this the way it looks. So it's now sharing the influence between itself, the chest, sorry, the neck rather, and the neck and the head. So just going to flood. I left the vertex unselected, so I'm going to grab that. Probably I might not even need to grab that because when I mirror, it's going to fix it automatically. So this is what it looks like. So for the chest, I saw some things coming from the chest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select those. I'm going to select them, including all of this, all of those. Alright. Okay, I can do Control 1 to be sure what I've been selected. I might add part of this color. They're probably here. These three vertices sitting at the top right there. Control 1 to review them. Then I'm going to hammer this. Just hammer those. Probably these guys here should be nicely hammered, including these ones here. If I'm not too good with what I have here, what I'm going to do is I'll select them. I'm going to select the chest, lock the neck, not lock the head rather, and then I'm going to also open this just these three. I might now have to switch to paint mode, ensure that my smooth paint operation is what is selected, and I can float this and float them, or particularly the chests and the neck, chest and neck. My switch here, I think I need to hammer this tune, including this. Okay, let's see what it looks like if these guys have been hammered. Let's see what it looks like. Let me be sure what has been selected. Okay, and what if they are hammered? Control 1. Okay, what about this one? This one here. Okay, I think I like how the neck folds. Okay, so now this is what we have. We have this to the side. When it's bent to the side, this is what we have. This part is not nicely worked on. Okay, it hasn't been mirrored yet, so if it goes this way, it's how we'll check. Don't forget the left side is where we're working on. So the left side, we are not really working on that because we can easily just what's it called, mirrored. Because you can see part of the hair still coming around with. I want the head to have full controls for those. Full controls. I think the chest or the neck or something. This should be controlled, fully controlled by the head. Fully controlled by the head. What else has influence here? This guy? No, I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. Not anything from this. Let me be sure. Okay, I think something might be coming from the head. It's just the hair that I've selected. Something is also coming from the right side. Okay. Right. So this is the hair. I don't want anything coming from except from the head. Control 1. This is how I want things to go. Okay, I think this is looking good to some extent, so I might have to slide this. So let's check what this looks like. Okay. Might just situation where we have something like this, so we might not have to go this far. Might not have to go this far. Skin, let me get open. So let's see what the neck looks like again. I think that should have been, you see, that has been corrected. You see that has been corrected, but it can still be worked on. This one is now, that was the neck actually. This is the head now. This is the head turning now. This is the head turning. The one we saw earlier is the neck. Actually, this one is the neck. This is the neck. Now this is the head. I didn't even put like, this is the neck, this is the head now, rather, sorry, this is the head. Turning. So I think it remains a finger. So let me save these before we now go to the finger. Let me save these, and probably we're going to stop this one here.